Welcome to Advisors on Growth. I'm your host, Derek Colin. In today's episode, I'm excited to share a COO who's working with Arcana Labs. They provide video production with AI, and we got some big updates for you. So, without further ado, Guy Ronen, the COO, Chief Operating Officer at ArcanaLabs.ai. How you doing today?
Hey, Derek. Great. Thanks for having me. Amazing to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us on Advisors on Growth. So I want to just kind of dive in here. Can you share a bit about your background and your role and how it fits into the bigger picture over at Arcana Labs?
Yeah, 100%. The last almost 25 years, I think, started as a corporate, mainly tech aspect world. Then I moved to the private equity and family office. I manage investment, mainly in tech, mainly in SaaS, to be honest. I did a few small exits and two M&As under the belt of the private equity. Moved to California 10 years ago, worked with a few VCs here, invested on their behalf, been a COO and operating partner, as well as a CEO of a few tech companies, scaled them up, did my MBA, major in finance. And when I met Arcana, it was kind of a midway before launching. And I think the missing piece of the puzzle was the business side of growth, because there's an amazing team and from the entertainment industry and really deep into the weeds. And I was happy to join the team and push the growth side and the business side into Arcana as well, and scale the company to the place we are today and obviously moving forward.
Awesome. Awesome. What major shifts are you currently seeing in your industry right now?
Okay, so with Gen AI and production and content creation with AI, I think, like, to be honest, like any type of AI in the market today, we've seen a lot of fear and kind of people try not to deal with AI. There's a lot of, okay, that's going to kill the industry, that's going to take our jobs. And I think along the way, it's funny because we're talking about the last 10 to 12 months, right? It's not really, a long way, but we're seeing a shift. We're seeing the gauge moving from the fear and I don't want to be involved with AI into excitement and, hey, tell me more. And I think it's a part of what the industry is experiencing, the understanding of it's here and it's here to stay, but also educating people. Definitely us in Arcana, we are encouraging people to try to learn. We're not here to replace anyone. We're here to enhance people. It's another tool in your backpack. Learn it, master it. You don't have to use it. But when you understand the benefits, you can see how that can actually promote the industry and actually do good, a lot of good.
Yeah, I was looking through the website and I set up an account myself and I was like, wait a minute. So this is how those Instagrammers are doing this and going viral and all that fun stuff and those little mini movies you see that everyone loves. I'm like, I gotta sign up for this. This is really cool stuff. So for those of you watching, make sure you go to ArcanaLabs.ai and check it out. It's amazing. So Guy, tell me, with your background and skill sets and your expertise and tenure in private equity and being in the institutional investor space, why Arcana Labs? What really attracted you to this? What's the value?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think there's a lot of things in early stage ventures and generally in ventures that's scaling up is the need, is the problem, right? And as I just described, AI was a big enigma for everyone. Is it going to take our job? What are we going to do? How is it going to help us? Is it going to do good to the industry or not? And in Arcana, it's a very easy use case. It's not just a model. Arcana is an ecosystem that embedded tons of models, today it's 60 models, and keep integrating more. And actually doing if you want to call it a type of a perplexity for LLM, but in Gen AI, bringing everything into one place, putting everything into the right workflow and helping creators start creating professionally. Now, it's a huge problem because a year and a half ago, I saw creators open 15 subscriptions, 15 different tabs on their computers and doing this one with this model and that one with the other model. And this one is not doing good, that, and voice is here. You need a one-stop shop to be able to work one subscription under one workflow to simplify everything. And I think that's what Arcana is doing. I think that's a huge gap. That's a huge gap in AI, in any new technology, because people trying to figure out and educate themselves and how can I use that? And there's a million tools out there. So centralize everything, make it as simple as possible. I think that's a solution that was much needed.
Yeah, I agree. Because I was looking for a solution for, creating AI videos and I would go to, I believe it was called NVIDIA or something like that, and they try to kind of mesh things together for you. But when you actually start to use it, and after you pay them, you find out, oh, this isn't what I wanted, you know.
There's
And
a lot of
it's kind of,
guesswork in this
yeah.
domain, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to connect a lot of moving parts and different applications just to make one solid video in the way you really want it. And that's what I really love about ArcanaLabs.ai is you guys sort of kind of figured out the problem in the marketplace and
And
solved
and
it.
it's a bit of even more than that. You had to move your models from a tool to a tool, and you have to pay different subscription, and it was just not smooth enough. Everything in one
Yeah.
place. I think we're solving a huge problem, and we're seeing the effect on a daily basis. People are using more and more efficiently and saving money.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about your team and, the people that are kind of behind the scenes that have the industry experience. Can you share a bit about their background and why, other investors are so invested into you guys?
Yeah, 100%. I think the interesting thing in Arcana's team is it's not a typical, we're not at all a Silicon Valley company, but it's not a typical tech company, right? I think over 50, I think 60 or 70% of our team members are embedded deeply into the entertainment domain for over like 15 to 20 years. So seeing a mixture of team members that can actually understand the industry, understand the pain points with the business side and the technical side, harnessing everything into one solution, one product. I think that's the secret sauce. To say the least, our CEO Jonathan Junger is head and president of Millennium Media. We're talking about he spearhead over 50 movies, over 5 franchises, 2.5 billion in the box office so far. Fun
Mhm.
fact, never lost money on a production, and that's unique in the entertainment industry. But to get from this position and understanding how can I harness AI for entertainment needs, I think that's a totally different ballgame than a bunch of, and I'm not against, don't get me wrong, but a bunch of techies that sitting and said, let's create another model. No, this ideation was totally different. How can we use the existing things, improve them, and actually harness that into entertainment and not vice versa? And then we're seeing a lot of traction like that. We're seeing a lot of studios and productions and entertainment players and hey, we're not the biggest in the industry, but we got tons of clients and partners that actually saying, we want to work with you because you're speaking our language. And that's
Mhm.
important.
And I would assume that it increases productivity, production value, costs. People can save a lot more money. Producers that want to streamline certain projects can put that out there a lot quicker.
100%. I think that's the biggest advantage in AI. I think obviously time we can generate and create, the needed assets and clips very fast. But put
Yeah.
aside the pace for a second, cost wise, it's just totally different ballgame. We're changing the landscape. We're seeing so many small, medium productions between 1.5 to I think 15, maybe 18 million in budget. That the most common thing between them that they're in a huge deficit and over budget, and mainly because of the VFX and the complex shots. We met so many clients and partners like that we shave instantly between 1.5 to 3.5 million in costs and provide everything faster in less than 10% of the original cost. And this is a make or break. Okay, that's exactly the biggest benefit. Lower the barrier, and now more can do with less resources.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like it's also creating careers like influencers and people who want access to this sort of technology for new film projects and people who want to break or get into the film industry without having to go through the traditional means of big time producers or going to auditions, and they can just really start making their own films.
100%. The only barrier today, the only thing that's holding you up is your imagination. If you can think about it, you can actually execute it and put it. And today, we're not, 20 years ago, the big channels and, streamers, not even streamers, choose exactly when we consuming our content. Sit down Sunday night if you want to watch this show. Now, with all the channels and the ability to distribute in any different platform, I think there's no more barriers for that. There's no more red tape. And you'll be surprised, but the most significant shift that we're seeing in the industry is people that working in specific things like a producer, a designer in the industry that actually taking Arcana and now they're directing their own movie. And it's crazy. They're already working in the industry, but no one will let them direct it. in any situation. And now they can take the tool and actually direct. And so many people are so talented, and not just in the industry. I think it was Bill Clinton that said, talent spread equally, but opportunity not. We're seeing young creators sitting all over the place, starting from India, China, Africa, North Carolina, Oklahoma, that produce amazing results. You don't need to be a Hollywood name to do that. And that's the beauty of AI.
Yeah, I think I seen during the UFC White House fight, or the White House hosted the UFC fight.
Yeah.
And there was tons of commercials that had lots of AI in it that were very high quality, and like these were big budget type of brands, and it seems like maybe they're saving money using AI for their commercials, which is
100%,
pretty cool.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think you know more than that. I think, listen, AI is getting into a level that the tech going to be flat. It's going to be perfect. And now the way to judge the usage and the way you actually utilize that is going to be the way you execute that, right? And don't get me wrong, I think there are gaps in AI. And it's good that there are gaps in AI. You can't replace actors, real actors. You need what they bring to to this role, what they bring, what they learn, the small mimics and things like that we still see a lot of value. But hey, there's a lot of hybrid and different solution in AI that you can use real actor with an AI environment and still move faster and save a lot of money.
No, that's true. You see that in Korean films, Japanese films. They use CGI, and maybe like movies like The Matrix and forget his name, Snyder something, and Rob Snyder, I think his name was. And you can integrate AI for certain scenes, like if it's a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible type film. He does his own stunts sometimes, but there's definitely scenes where you can tell, like, okay, there's no way in hell that the
Of
helicopter
course.
did that, right?
Of course, and that's the beauty today. Today, you can make a movie that looks like 100 million in less than 10% of this budget, and that's the beauty, right? Because at the end of the day, we as audience want to see more stories and be more inspired. And if we're lowering the barrier and making more creators make more stories for us to watch, it's a win-win situation.
Awesome. So I want to talk about what's working well and what's been frustrating for you guys.
Wow, it's a good question. I think the biggest piece that is not frustrating but moving slow, and we're investing quite a lot in that, is education. We're still getting to players that said, hey, no, we don't want to touch that. We're not allowed to touch that. And by saying that, they're going and using CGI and VFX in a different production that is still 95% computer made, right? So why is it so different between using one computer, Unreal Engine for VFX, and an AI? Right. So we are struggling and investing a lot in education. We're going to universities and film schools and embedding AI or Gen AI into students early on so they will understand that. And again, you don't have to use that, but understand what's an AI. Okay. So that's the biggest one. That's the biggest thing that we're investing in. And I think adoption is getting easier with time, skills, because AI is so broad and anyone can, as you mentioned, I jumped on board and create something. Anyone can do that. It's not that you used to be, okay, those are producers, those are DP and operating cameras, and these people are only editors. Right now, you can actually be wearing 5-6 hats in a production while using AI. That being said, this is another challenge. You need to bring the people to the right level, to the right training and skills. And obviously, AI is evolving on a weekly basis. So keep up with the pace, right? Keep up to speed with everything that is going up. We're putting a lot of effort in, and we're embedding a new features on Arcana on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So we're investing quite a lot in, hey, here's the new thing. That's how you use that. Suddenly the last couple of months, we moved to video. So suddenly you can start from a video and not just the images or prompts. So, and it's getting better. So I think that's the two biggest challenges: education and understanding AI, but also keep up with the speed with the new things that comes out every other week.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you want people to know out there, or maybe even investors? What's the unique value proposition?
I think the unique value proposition is to create workflow and the ability to create IP fast, quality IP fast, and the ability to actually distribute that at the end. Okay, we in Arcana not just like servicing clients and provide the platform itself to clients. We're also involved in a lot of productions. We're taking pieces from the IP because we believe in that. I think that's the new future of producing. That being said, we're also looking forward. How an AI producing going to look like in the next 3 to 4, 5 years, right? And we don't think everything needs to be remote. We are developing a concept of a physical studio. The teams will work in pods. The difference is not going to be a pod of 150 people. It's going to be a part of a five to 10 people, and you can create movie. Now, I think also a shifting in the industry that will look more like, and that's interesting that you mentioned investors, the entertainment industry and the content production industry are going to look more like a VC war, because instead of putting 100 million on one production and fingers crossed that it will be successful and give a good return, right now you can take 100 million and do 30 productions. So suddenly you're de-risking production. Suddenly you don't need a 30 production to be successful. 5 or 6 out of 30 could be successful, and immediately it's return on investment. So there's a lot of aspect that AI could serve, and I think the growth is, I wouldn't say we're at the beginning of the process, but we definitely haven't met the peak of this process. And investors with the right appetite understand that that's the future of production. And not just entertainment in Hollywood. We're seeing corporates that not replacing in-house team, but embedding AI for their in-house team and starting to produce in volumes. We got a big corporate, a pharmaceutical corporate, that they're doing 30 to 40 commercial on a monthly basis for broadcasting. Okay, they replaced their infrastructure of studios, sound stages, and everything with Arcana. I don't even need to tell you how fast they're producing and what's the price per pop. Instead of 70 or 80K per commercial that they used to do in Latin America, they're doing that in less than 10%.
That's crazy.
And that's growth. That's growth. And that's what investors are looking for.
So a lot of people out there may be thinking, oh, AI is going to take my job. And in some cases, there's people who believe, well, it's going to enhance jobs and maybe increase productivity a lot more with less people. That being said, where do you see Arcana Labs, .ai in the next 6 to 12 months? Is there anything exciting coming up, or events or growth? Are you guys looking to scale, and are you contributing to the economy with creating jobs, or is it a job creator within its own ecosystem? Go ahead.
It's a good question. First of all, our vision is artist-driven AI and not AI-driven art. So we do not believe in replacing people. We believe in enhancing people. This is another tool to enhance you. It's another tool in your backpack. AI by itself, listen, again, the tech is going to be flat really soon. It's going to be perfect. That being said, there's no push of a button to create a movie. Okay, it's not going to work. There's no push of a button to create a script, right? We need people to write something that will make us feel something, cry, laugh, connect to these characters. So we need so many people in the process. We're just cutting the level of like 150 people on set to create one shot in one day and expedite and making that exponentially faster, cheaper, and to be honest, even higher quality. So yes, some roles will be kind of reduced with time, but I think this is another opportunity. When you're closing a door, a different door is open. Those roles could actually take platform like Arcana and actually produce and direct themselves their own IP. Okay, instead of holding as an extra on a set or doing something like that. So at some point, yes, it will reduce the amount of people. It's not replace anyone. There's no push of a button to create a movie. You need people behind that. Okay, we working with our studio, with people that are actually industry expert with 15, 20 years of experience in the industry, and convert them to AI. And that's the secret. It's not to replace anyone. It's totally not to replace anyone. It's really to enhance people and give them more tools and create more.
Yeah. So I would assume if that's the case, as you guys expand, you'll be bringing in, new team members, hiring. Is there anything you can talk about in terms of, adding to your team, or how does that work?
Yeah. I think our biggest challenge, there's two challenges right now for us. I assume it's not really unique. A lot of, early stage companies are struggling with the same places. First of all, sales. We need to sell more. There's so many domains that we haven't tapped into, like gaming, architecture, design, things that you can do with AI very efficiently, and we're not even touching right now. If it's visual, you can do it with AI. And we need to expand ourselves and the infrastructure behind that and more domains. The second thing is converting, not recruiting, converting more people to be AI artists. Yes, you can start being 19 years old or 18 and start to be a very talented artist. We're seeing that. But the majority of the existing people that in the industry for 10, 15 years, those are people that should use more AI and then be AI artists. You can expedite the processes, you can reduce costs, and you can just do good. And for us, recruiting, finding, and training new artists on AI, I think that's the biggest, challenge and the biggest growth opportunity as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Well, very good insights. Thank you so much, Guy, for joining us, COO of ArcanaLabs.ai. If you guys want to check it out one more time, that's ArcanaLabs.ai, ArcanaLabs.ai. And you can also find Guy on LinkedIn if you want to look up his profile and check him out. Thank you so much, Guy, for joining us on the Advisors on Growth podcast.
Thank you so much, Derek. It was a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and leave us a comment. Thank you.